decades, the business case for mobile operators was simple: deliver connectivity to consumers and businesses and charge a price. But they have a problem.
We all know what's happening with transport, right? Transport is somewhat being commoditized. I mean, people may debate with me on that, but that's where we're headed.
Recent earnings from big names including AT&T, Verizon, Telia and Telenor bear this out, with service and overall revenue either flat year on year or down. Of course, this isn't news to operators, which are increasingly looking to move beyond connectivity by delivering new services to the enterprise and consumer sectors. They are potentially lucrative. GSMA Intelligence estimates the world's biggest operators generated a combined $175 billion in additional revenue from enterprise and consumer plays in 2018, the bulk of which came from enterprise. But the research company's numbers also highlight operators' revenue streams remain heavily skewed towards connectivity, accounting for between 80 and 90%. Magnus Learnhardt, a director and head of business development and innovation at Telia, explains the typical plays operators are exploring.
We provide, a lot of different things to our customers, and of course, as an operator, it is, connectivity. It's fixed connectivity. It's mobile connectivity. It's for sites. It's for machines and for people. I mean, that's the basics of our business, of course. But as any operator, we also have, of course, value-added services. That is, driving connectivity services as such. And here we find, communication services, collaboration services, security services, and together then with partner services.
It is not a sector without competition, though, with big-name rivals such as Amazon Web Services. So if operators don't already have a strong enterprise play, is it too late?
Has the ship sailed? Certainly not. When we talk about connectivity or simple connectivity, I can tell you that, most of these, governments, industries and enterprises, their connectivity needs are not trivial to address, especially if you're talking about mission critical and some business critical customers where, lives or millions, several many, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, in fact, for some customers, depend on communications running to support their business.
So how can operators grab a slice of the action?
We need to be agile. We need to be fast. We need to not fail so often, but we need to be ready to fail, of course. But there will be a number of pockets of growth that we can address.
But nimbleness is not something which has traditionally been a trait of the telecoms industry, as VEON co-CEO Kaan Terzioglu highlighted.
Why have we been as an industry so slow in changing our business models? I think, it's a combination of two things. One, as they say, when you put frogs into a boiling pot and heat it up slowly, you don't feel the changes of the environment. And we have been in that pot for a very long time. The second part is the resilience of the business. I mean, we are happy by being flat. We are happy by maybe growing our businesses along with the inflation. We have never realized, how big a digital economy that we have empowered. And I think that lack of sense of urgency and lack of understanding of the dynamics created, unfortunately, a complacency.
Operators, though, have some unique advantages in terms of current business relationships and consumer trust, the latter of which is a key benefit in consumer plays. Orange, for example, is using its brand to back a financial services move.
In fact, Orange has been operating in the banking sector in Africa with Orange Money, which is a P2P transfer scheme which works extremely well with 50 million customers. And it appears that if a client is a telco client and would take the banking offering, then the level of satisfaction of the client towards the telco would increase by 15%, which is very high. And we would also see the churn of the client reducing if he takes the banking offering. That's why we believe we need to create this bank, but to create this bank as close as possible to the telco.
In the UK, operator BT invested heavily in sports, a play Matt Stagg explains is boosted by technology evolution.
Rolling out 5G gives our customers, from a consumer point of view, a much better experience on some of the emerging technologies, but also puts the capability in there for people to develop new technologies on the consumer side. So obviously people are starting to look and heavily invest in augmented reality and mixed reality on the consumer side, as we are in sport as well, to see if we can get a more immersive experience.
The outlook may be positive, but operators' push beyond pure connectivity is not without challenges, with fierce competition from big-name technology companies including Google and Amazon on the enterprise side, and a well-established lineup of OTT players on the consumer. To quote a sporting term then, it looks like it's all still to play for in both segments.